Hey guys, welcome to the channel. It's Vanessa of Servants Beads. Thank you so much for clicking on the video, and in today's tutorial we are going to be making this rhinestone glass beaded bag. It's very simple, very easy. This video is going to be so short, and yeah, so please make sure you watch the video to the end without skipping any parts. I'll appreciate that so much. And if you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section below, and without further ado, let's get right into the tutorial. So you're going to need your glass plate. I'm using an oval shaped glass plate here. You need a pair of scissors. These are 10mm or size 10 sugar beads, and you have your rhinestones, and of course your 0.7mm fishing line. So to start off, you're going to insert your fishing line into the very first hole of your glass plate. Pick up one bead and cross with that one bead, and you're going to pick up 3 beads. Insert one bead into the left fishing line, one bead into the right fishing line, and you're going to cross with the third bead. So I'm going to show you 2 methods on how to start from your glass plate. Start sticking your bead to your glass plate. So this is the first method, and to attach this bead to your bag, you're going to take your fishing line. I'm using the one on my left, so the one closest to the bag. Insert it into the following hole. Then I'm going to go back into that crossing bead right there, and I'm going to pull it nice and firm so that it attaches to the bag. Okay, so you can use any fishing line, whether you use the fishing line on your left or your right, it's still going to come out with the same thing. So I've still picked up 3 beads, and I've crossed with the third bead right there. Now I'm going to use the fishing line on my right to attach these beads to the bag. So you could use any fishing line, left or right. It's still going to attach your bead to your bag. Okay, it's very easy to attach it to your plate. And by the way, this glass plate was a DIY glass plate. I'm going to talk more about that as we get on with the tutorial. So this is the first method. I'm going to post other tutorials on how to attach your beads to your glass plate. You could use this method for any shape of glass plate that you have. I'll post other videos on how to attach your beads to your glass plate, so you can see the other ways basically that you can do all those attachments. Okay, so this is the second method. You can start the second method by picking up 4 beads and crossing with the 4th. Then you're just going to start attaching from there. Okay, so this is a curved glass plate. You can't work it actually the same way that you work a square or rectangular. So at the curved part, it's going to be a little bit different, and when we get there, I'm going to show you. To continue, you're just going to grab one end of your fishing line, preferably the one on your right. You're going to insert it from under to up, like bottom to top. Then you're going to go back into that crossing bead, and this is basically the first attachment. Then we are going to continue the normal method, that is picking up 3 beads, 1 bead on the left fishing line, 1 bead on the right fishing line, and then you're going to cross with the third bead. Okay, then use either fishing lines, whether it's the one on the left or the right. Insert it into the following bead, and then you're going to cross back into the crossing bead. If what I'm saying is not making sense, please, you can go ahead and just watch the video. I believe it's clear. So about the DIY glass plate I mentioned, if you guys want me to do a separate video on how to DIY your own glass plate, let me know down in the comment section. Let me know if you want me to do a video like that, the measurements, the sizing, the hole size, the spacing. If you want all of that, let me know down in the comment section if you want me to do that sort of video where you can get your own glass plate or do your own glass plate by yourself. Okay, yeah, so we're just going to continue the same method of going under and over and attaching the beads to our beaded bag. And when we get to the curved end, I'm going to show you what to do next. Okay, so now we are at the end, and what we have here is a suspending bead. When you're doing curved beaded bags like this, you need to have what we call a suspending bead, and what I have there is a suspending bead, and that's basically a bead that is not attached to your bag. So I have a suspending bead right there. I'm not going to attach it to any hole or whatever. And now I'm going to pick up 3 beads, one on the left, one on the right, cross with the third, and I'm going to attach it at this moment. So this is going to help me curve my work more, okay? So make sure you have that suspending bead, that is that bead that does not attach itself to any of the holes of the bag. And doing this, you're going to end up with more rows of beads than your holes, okay? And remember that whatever you do on this curved side, you're going to repeat the same thing on the other curved side. Okay, so right now we are on the other side of our bag, and if you remember, we had a suspending bead before we started the first row of the base, and now we are going to have a suspending bead before we start the first row of the curve side. Okay, so right now this one that I'm doing right here is going to be a suspending bead. So you're going to attach that. That is the last bead of the bottom. So we are going to get our suspending bead right now. So bead into the left fishing line, now bead into the right fishing line, and then you cross with the third bead is going to be suspending bead because it is before the first bead of the side. Okay, I hope all of this is making sense. Okay, so that's our suspending bead right there. I'm not going to attach it to any hole, and I'm going to pick up 3 beads, one on the left, one on the right, and then I am going to cross with the third bead. Now we are just going to cross like that, and then I am going to attach it to the next hole. So if your glass plate has is one that has holes around, like the entire glass plate, I DIYed or customized mine in a way that there were no holes at the top. But if yours does have holes around, know that when you get to the curved part, you are going to have suspending beads. Okay, so you're going to continue with the attachment until you get to the last bead, and then you're going to grab the fishing line on your left or the fishing line which is facing your glass plate. Pick up 3 beads on that fishing line and you're going to cross, and that's going to turn our work to the side. Okay, by the way, if you're doing your glass beaded bag and you have that transparent film or brown film, do not peel the entire thing off before you start. Okay, you can go ahead and pause the video and count the number of rows which are on this bag. You will notice that there are more bead rows than the number of holes. Okay, now with the other fishing line, with the fishing line that is facing upwards or away from your work, you're going to pick up 3 beads again, and you are going to cross, and this is going to help us turn our work. And what we are going to do now is to do the basic matting method, and this is going to help us to cover up the sides of our glass. Okay, especially as you see the fishing line is passing around the glass. We don't want that. We do not want that, right? So make sure you're pulling your work for this entire project. Okay, don't break your glass, but make sure you're pulling your work to be nice and firm. So with the fishing line on your left, you're going to pick up 2 beads and then cross with the second bead. And yeah, normal matting method, insert your fishing line to the following bead from the previous row, and you're going to go ahead and build the sides, like I said, so that we are covering the glass plate. Okay, I did 3 rows here, 1 row pink, 2 purple, and that's how my sides is looking like. And you're going to go ahead and repeat everything that we have just done. You go ahead and repeat it on the other side of the glass plate. You can use any sort of bead that you want, guys, whether it's round, whatever shape, as long as it's a 10mm or a size 10 bead. Okay, yeah, so we are just going to join, and I'm using the excess fishing line from the other glass plate. With the fishing line facing upwards, I'm going to pick up 1 bead, insert into the corresponding bead or matching bead on the other side, and then I'm going to pick up another bead and I'm going to cross. This is just a bead join, a basic bead joining. Please, if you do not know or you do not understand some parts, or if you're new in beading and you do not understand some things, I highly recommend my beginner in beads playlist. It starts from the materials that you need to buy in order to start your beaded bags and how to start beading. If you feel like you can recommend it to someone as well, you can go ahead and share the playlist. Yeah, you can start from watching all those tutorials or classes They are up on my channel as an entire playlist. So to join, I'm just inserting the fishing line on my right into the following bead from the previous row. Then I'm going to insert the fishing line on my left the same way. Pick up one bead and cross, making sure that the beads correspond to each other. Okay. Yeah, so if you want to get some inquiries, I'm going to leave a link in the description box so you can DM me on Instagram. If you want me to recreate something, you can send me the photo on Instagram, or if you guys should just let me know the type of tutorials or videos that you want to see on this channel. If you recreate any tutorial, you can send it to me on Instagram. I'm going to post it and I'm going to tag you in that tutorial as well. Okay. Okay, so our bag is done. We have joined it and it's looking nice and cute. You can go ahead and add more rows if you want. Let's get to the fun part, which is the not so fun part. Okay, so I'm using super glue here. That's going to help me to stick our rhinestones to our glass, but if you know any other adhesive, you can go ahead and use it. So I'm just opening up our super glue, and honestly guys, this part you need to pay attention when you're doing this or anything that has to do with glue. You need to be careful because you might damage your glass, okay? And we don't want that. Now what you're going to do is put less than a dot of glue. Look at that, that is less than a dot. And please make sure that before you start doing this, you have the design that you want in mind, okay? If you just want to dot it around the back in a particular pattern, if you want to make a flower, please make sure you have that in mind before you get started, okay? Because honestly, I was excited to just add rhinestones and I was just going with the flow. I mean, it turned out all right, but just have the design that you want in mind, okay? Another thing that you should do is place all your rhinestones on top of your glass so that when you dot the glue, you slide the rhinestones into the glue. The only reason why you should be placing it the way you see me place is if you have, you know, one of those rhinestone pickers, because honestly, using your fingers like this, you need to have some precision, okay? So the pattern that I did was I just made this is why I didn't drill holes at the top of my bag, because I wanted to have these rhinestones there, but I just did the rhinestones at the top and then I started doing like staggering it in between each other so that they should start having a reduction. And I took a different color of the rhinestones to sort of make a design. And this is what I'm talking about, that you make sure you put your rhinestones on your glass, make sure they are upright, put your dot of glue and slide, dot of glue, slide. And yeah, this is what it's looking like. As you can see, if you're done with this side, I beg of you, allow it to dry. Give your bag one market day for it to dry. And if you want it to dry perfectly, make sure you have it flat like this. Let your bag be laying flat like this. Do not make it stand upright or the glue is going to drip. Let me just put that out there. Your glue is going to drip, so make sure it's nice and flat. And as you can see me, I'm just showing you guys what I was saying, where you put all your rhinestones on your bag flat, put less than a dot of glue and slide, glue, slide, glue, slide, just like that, okay? And I didn't want to go through all that trouble of making that design again, so I just did one straight line like this at the back. And yeah, that was basically it. Please, before you put the handle of your bag, give your bag one market day for it to dry. One market day, let it dry before you put the handle. Now for the handle of your bag, it's going to be very easy. All you have to do is to take your fishing line, insert it into the middle bead, whether that middle bead is running from top to bottom or from left to right. Insert it into that middle bead, and then you pick up 6 beads. And this is my scrunched handle here. I have a tutorial on my channel on how to make this scrunched handle with material. You can do it with any material that you want. I'm just inserting that loop or the hoop into those beads that I just made. Then I'm just going to tie it down. Okay, so that is how I attach my handle. I'll leave the link to that tutorial in the description box on how to make this scrunched handle. Okay, and our bag is done. Honestly, this is basically it. I'm going to leave links to the playlist, beginner in beads playlist, and the scrunch handle down in the description box. And please make sure you check out the other videos and tutorials on my channel. I have tutorials for trendy beaded bags. You can go ahead and check all of them out. And yeah, so this is how our bag is looking like. We are finished, and I have a little pouch inside. I have like 3 tutorial videos on my channel on how to hand sew, if you don't have a sewing machine, hand sew pouches for your beaded bag. So go ahead and check it out. I'll leave the link in the description box. This is how it's looking like. All the colors are popping, nice and beautiful. Tell me what you think about the bag in the comment section. And yeah, that is basically it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the tutorial, and I'm going to see you in my next video.